Unlike humans, the 10 animals that we list in this video do indeed have an extraordinary power that enables them to live without their heads. It sounds creepy, but it's real. Number 1. Cockroach. Cockroaches are strange creatures that can survive for weeks without their heads. When the head is lost, the neck of the cockroach will heal with the blood clots and enough time to heal the wound. Furthermore, this animal does not breathe through its head, so the blood is not responsible for carrying oxygen. In fact, cockroaches also get air through the breathing holes located on the body parts. The breathing holes draw air directly into the tissues through a series of small tubes called trachea. Cockroaches have a remarkable point that they not only have the brain to control activities, the nerve nodes are distributed throughout the body, allowing the animal to fly, run, and respond to external influences immediately even when the head is gone. They only actually die a few weeks later when the wound becomes infected or doesn't have food or water. Even the severed head of the cockroach is able to survive and waving its bird for a few more hours before dehydrating. Number 2. Chicken. Famous for the story of the headless chicken is still alive, especially the rooster named Mike in Colorado, USA. After being beheaded in April 1945, this chicken could still live 18 months later. After death, the doctor examined Mike's body to decipher the reason that he was still alive even though he had no head. Accordingly, the slash did not hit Mike's carotid vein. The blood clot was able to stop his blood flowing to the end. Thanks to the owner using the eyedropper to drip milk, water, food into the throat and use the cylinder to suck fluid in the trachea every day, the chicken is still resilient. Until one night, the chicken secreted so much fluid that the owner could not find the cylinder to suck, so he died from suffocation. Number 3. Flatworm. This tiny worm has a special ability that most animals don't have. If the head is cut off, within a few weeks from the worm's body, another complete head will grow. What about the head being cut off? The cells of the worms also immediately divide and restore an entire body. In short, from one worm that was severed, 2 new and identical worms formed. Even if you dropped the planaria worms into hundreds of pieces, they should be fine, because just one adult worm cell is enough for it to multiply itself into a complete body. Not only living very long, this worm also stunned scientists because of its ability to restore memory after death. Number 4. Mantis. For every male mantis, each mating chance looks like a mortal gamble. During sex, the female mantis may eat her partner's flesh to give her future offspring more nourishment. If the love happens when the female mantis is full, the male mantis' ability to keep alive will increase. If, on the other hand, the female mantis is hungry, it can set that the female mantis to have committed a suicide attempt while mating. Male mantis continue to pump sperm into the female mantis' body after she chews its head. When the female mantis receives enough sperm, she kicks her partner's corpse down. Males have sacrificed themselves to ensure their chances of being a father. Number 5. Octopus. Octopus is also the next animal on this list, a viable headless animal. Perhaps the image of an octopus losing its head, only its body and moving tentacles, you've seen in familiar videos of Korean cuisine. So, why can this animal do such miracles? The octopus's 8 tentacles are not completely dependent on the central brain, since each of these arms possesses a part of their own brain. In fact, each of the octopus's tentacles are filled with nerve cells, allowing them to continue to respond to stimuli even after having the head cut off. Number 6. Fruit fly. A female fruit fly can survive for a while even after a head is amputated. Survival is as normal as if it were still intact. That is, the female fruit fly can still perform complex activities such as flying, circulating, moving. Because of possessing auxiliary brains in the chest and light-sensitive cells throughout the body, female individuals of some species of flies can still fly, perch, and crawl for more days, even weeks after having their heads cut off. Although the partner has deformed appearance, the female flies don't depend on that to stop mating, meaning that the female flies that lost their heads were still able to do sex as usual. Although they no longer have eyes, fruit flies are equipped with special sensors that can detect obstacles in their way. Besides, with light-sensitive cells evenly distributed throughout the body, fruit flies can still see light and distinguish between light and dark. Number 7. Frog. With a nerve system that is not entirely dependent on the brain and strong unconditional reflexes, decapitated frogs still have muscles contraction responses, allowing them to jump, even swim underwater until they die of starvation. Even disjointed frogs' legs will convulse like a living if exposed to a pinch of salt because sodium triggers a chain reaction that leads to muscle contractions. This was discovered in the late 19th century by a Scottish neuroscientist. While studying brain function, he did experiments with frogs and made a surprising discovery. It is a frog without a brain. It can still function as a normal frog. Number 8. Salamander. Water salamanders are especially famous for their regenerative abilities. They are considered immortal because they can replicate any part of the body, from the limbs, tail, even the heart and brain. A study of an underwater salamander found that immune cells called cell type are crucial in the early period of regeneration of lost limbs. Researching salamanders' regeneration abilities could provide insight into the treatment of spinal and brain injuries in humans, the researcher said. Furthermore, knowledge can help lead to new treatments for heart, liver, or post-operative recovery by preventing harmful scarring. Number 9. Snapping turtle. Snapping turtle is a formidable predator with a few enemies. It is an animal known for being hot-tempered and aggressive. The tortoises like shallow waters, but they are capable of diving up to 2 meter or 3 meter deep. When the bodies are cut off, their heads can continue to use their sharp jaws to bite when they are touched, maybe for many hours after death. More frightening, one of the dishes of the snapping turtle is the corpses floating on a river. Number 10. Snake. In the case of dealing with poisonous snakes, 3 natural reactions of a human would be to shout and run away, be frozen in a few seconds, or the brave man will behead the snake if possible. In the third case, do not think that you had made a complete escape because the snakehead can still bite you as usual. When it happened, many people wonder how it could be. The answer is due to the snake's biting reflex. According to scientists, the phenomenon is not uncommon and it often occurs in reptiles, especially snakes. Cutting off a snake's head will not make it instantly die because the snake only feels pain and then it tries to defend itself, not aware that it has no body. David Penning, professor of biology at Missouri Southern University, said. Professor David Penning adds, if a mammal loses its head, it dies instantly. But healthy snakes can live for a few minutes or hours after the head of the neck. Actually, the snake hasn't completely died yet. Science has explained that in deep grooves between the snake's eyes and nose, there are often thermosensor receptors, especially rattlesnakes, that allow them to capture heat radiation from warm-blooded prey. Those receptors remain active for a while after the head is detached from the body by prolonging the nerve reflex. When warm-blooded animals approach, the active receptors include an immediate response of the muscles in the snake's head and perform a dangerous snap. So, we can still be killed by the same animal we killed if we are careless and ignorant. Therefore, even if the snake's head is cut, collision with other objects can still lead to the bite reflex. Nature is too miraculous, right? What is your impression of the animal of the still viable headless animals that we have outlined? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support us to make new and better videos. Thank you for watching.